So, if you guys needed more proof that Disney is failing left and right and is basically in damage control, I have another article that's going to give you even more evidence to this fact. A lot of people are trying to defend Disney and are trying to pretend as if Disney is not in a struggle right now. And don't get me wrong, Disney has a lot of money to survive for a very long time. That's obvious. But ultimately, I think they are noticing now that they have extended well beyond their means, and it's unfortunate for them, but it's great for us. So now I have an article from Bounding Into Comics that talks about the fact that Disney has officially fired Ike Perlmutter and plans to fold Marvel Entertainment into other departments. So not only is Disney as a whole struggling, but Marvel, one of their biggest IPs that they own aside from Star Wars, that is also struggling. And now Ike Perlmutter has been fired and given the pink slip. So this is just more proof that Disney is, unfortunately for them, going through massive amounts of struggle. And the reason why they are doing so is because, well, I mean, you could come up with any reason. Obviously, people are going to bring up identity politics. We always talk about that all the time. But just plain and simple, they're putting out a subpar product. I mean, their product is unbelievably subpar compared to A, how it used to be, B, what other people are putting out, and C, what people are looking for. They're not even paying attention to what people are actually asking for because they don't care. They're trying to put out messaging videos and messaging movies and messaging TV shows. That's what they're trying to put out. They only care about what they want to watch. That's basically what they're making. They're making content for themselves, which is hilarious. So let's read more about what this article has to say. It says, as Disney moves to reduce its workforce by roughly 7,000 employees, Marvel Entertainment head Ike Perlmutter has found himself among the first to face the chopping block. And I'm glad that it's at least the people at the top that seem to be getting chopped. Now, you guys are aware Victoria Alonso was recently chopped, and there's a whole nother rumor that has come out for the reason why she has been let go, and I'm going to go over that in another video, so stay tuned for that. But Perlmutter being let go is just another example of this. It says, according to a pair of anonymous Disney executives who first relayed the news to the New York Times, Perlmutter was allegedly informed of his exit via telephone on the morning of March 29th. Damn, that's a terrible way to get fired. Right, to get fired over the phone. I don't think that's ever happened to me, but I know of some people that that's happened to. It says the reason for this staffing shakeup, said the executives, was that Disney had ultimately come to feel that the entirety of Marvel Entertainment, the division which handled the brand's comic book publications, licensing agreements, and international toy sales, had become redundant. In light of the House of Mouse bidding farewell to Perlmutter, the New York Times insiders revealed that the company will supposedly be placing Marvel Entertainment's various operations under the management of other departments, though specifics regarding any potential restructurings have yet to be provided. Now, it wouldn't surprise me if this stuff is true. Now, obviously, take everything with a grain of salt until it officially comes out, but something like this would not shock me to be true because Marvel has, especially in the comic field, Marvel has been putting out such subpar product. Their comic books do not sell nowhere near as many comics as they used to, just flat out. Obviously, the comic books cost more money, so the gross sales are going to be close to what they used to be, if not maybe slightly higher due to inflation and everything like that. But if you look at unit sales and what actually is going out to customers, it is half of what they used to do. It is really sad numbers overall, and it wouldn't surprise me that they are going to try to restructure the internal workings of Marvel comic books division or Marvel in general. Like, I don't know if this is going to affect the MCU or the cinematic portion of Marvel, but I think it's definitely going to affect the publication side of Marvel and their books and whatnot. So it says, notably, Perlmutter's forced exit comes hot on the heels of his having thrown support behind activist investor Nelson Peltz's recent proxy battle for a seat on Disney's board. What the hell is this? A pregnant, what? Seriously? A pregnant Spider-Woman? Oh my God. Jesus Christ. That's how it looks anyway. I don't know if that's actually a pregnant Spider-Woman, but wow, that is just... Again, anyway, while we acknowledge that Disney, like many media companies, is undergoing a challenging pivot to streaming, Disney also benefits from owning best-in-class intellectual property, a more diversified business mix, and a parks business that is enjoying all-time high profitability, wrote Peltz Trian Fund Management hedge fund in their letter nominating him to the board. As such, we believe that the company's current problems are primarily self-inflicted and need to be addressed immediately. Well, I would agree with that. 100%. Your problems are absolutely self-inflicted. You guys are doing it to yourselves. And it's amazing that there is someone at Disney that just actually came out and said that. The fact that someone at Disney is actually admitting that all of their problems are self-inflicted, that is incredible to me. I never thought that anybody would actually admit that, which is hilarious. But yes, all of your problems are 100% self-inflicted. You guys decided to do this yourselves. You guys decided to back the freaking woke mob. You guys were so scared of being canceled for not even doing anything about the Florida bill that you decided to go all the way on the other side of the pendulum. And now, unfortunately for you, there's really no way for you to come out of it. You have burned so many people. Yes, your parks are still profitable, 100%. And that's because you overcharge an ungodly amount of money, and a bunch of rich people who are bored and want to take their kids somewhere ultimately still go to your parks. There's no denying that. But on the entertainment sector, you obviously are failing miserably. Your whole, oh, let's make content to push out our messaging, that's not working nowhere near as good as you thought it was going to. Yes, of course, you do have a couple of hits and stuff that made you money. Absolutely. It's few and far between, don't get me wrong. But there are some in there that has made you money. And the ones that have made you the most money are the ones that you didn't put any messaging into, like Spider-Man No Way Home, for example, when you collaborated with Sony. So you need to be focusing on doing things like that versus doing things like She-Hulk, for example, or Miss Marvel, for example. Stuff that nobody has asked for, stuff that nobody cares about. Like, you need to focus on the stuff that's really going to bring people in. It says, however, Peltz would ultimately lay down his sword in February when recently returned Disney CEO Bob Iger announced that the company will be reviewing their content output in favor of returning the company to profitability. Haha, they put Miles Morales Thor in this. Oh, that's great. Miles Morales Thor, who only speaks in raps, who wears Air Jordans, who has a hoodie for armor. I mean, come on. This is great stuff. It says Perlmutter's axing also comes just 3 days after Iger announced that the company would be undertaking extensive cost-cutting measures to the tune of approximately 7,000 jobs as part of a strategic realignment of the company. Over the past few months, senior leaders have been working closely with HR to assess their operational needs, and I want to give you an update on those efforts, explained Iger in a company-wide memo sent out on March 27th. This week, we begin notifying employees whose positions are impacted by the company's workforce reductions. Leaders will be communicating the news directly to the first group of impacted employees over the next 4 days. He added a second, larger round of notifications will happen in April with several thousand more staff reductions, and we expect to commence the final round of notifications before the beginning of the summer to reach our 7,000 job target. So again, this article is just more proof that they are absolutely failing in every sense of the word. Their only success right now that Disney has is their parks. That's just what it is, man. These things like Ironheart, for example, nobody cares about this stuff. Echo, for example, nobody cares about that. Pregnant Spider-Woman, who is asking for that? This is the stuff that they're trying to do to push messaging because ultimately they thought that that was going to make them money. They really, really believed those likes and retweets on Twitter. They thought that that was going to equate to dollar signs, and unfortunately for them, they realized very quickly that that is not the case. It says Perlmutter first joined Marvel as a member of its board in 1993 thanks to his ownership of Toy Biz, which had then exchanged a 46% equity stake in its business for an exclusive license to the publisher's characters. In the wake of Marvel's filing for bankruptcy in 1996, Perlmutter, though his stake in Toy Biz and along with co-owner Avi Arad, eventually received full control of the publisher. Shortly thereafter, 1998 would see him merge the two entities into the singular Marvel Entertainment, thus saving the publisher from complete oblivion. In 2001, he would be appointed vice chairman of Marvel with a subsequent promotion to CEO coming just 4 years later. It would be this role that Perlmutter would make what would quite possibly be considered his career-defining move, overseeing the 2009 sale of Marvel Entertainment to the Walt Disney Company for $4 billion. And listen, that is ultimately what caused the downfall of Marvel. It's amazing that just one transaction, just one point in history is the entire reason why a brand is going to die. And Marvel, yes, Marvel is probably going to die at some point in the future. It's not going to be the near future. It's going to be a very slow death. But if they keep doing what they're doing and they don't get back to basics, ultimately Marvel will go the way of the dodo bird. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.